I just don't want to like intercede and then cause a problem. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So, yeah.
What time's that gonna be, Abe?
7. It's gonna be 7:50 is when I'm gonna start my stream, and 8 o'clock is when we'll start talking.
I'm going to catch that later. I'm definitely, because I watch Rob's little call-in show, and there's pretty cool little bits of, I guess, arguments on there.
What time does it start?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Mountain Time or Central?
It'll be 8 o'clock Mountain. Sorry, East Coast for Robert's 10.
Oh, cool, dude.
Lord.
So we got 3 hours. Okay. If you know, I do apologize. I might not have too much to bring into like the open discussion side of things, because I did already stream today, and you know, streaming to a degree, sometimes I can't like necessarily think of like new stuff to talk about. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a natural streamer. I don't know, but like, definitely.
It's rough. Yeah. It's rough. So this is something I talked about just last night. I did a little short stream, and I was talking to like JB and Dave Healy, and it's weird because we
You cut out, Abe.
How like when I get on, I don't always have an aim. Sometimes I'm just getting on, and I'm going to have a conversation. Leads to good things because we're just going to have good, earnest conversations about something.
Yeah.
And sometimes the chat will say, hey, this and this, and I'll be like, okay, well, let's talk about that. And then people are like, oh, I want to talk about that conversation. So sometimes it's kind of
Right. Absolutely. Oh, dude, guys, I had the wrong background. What am I doing?
Oh, the multi-fingered people.
Yeah. There we go. What am I doing?
Oh, I'm got to figure this out. Like double sound, like a delayed sound, and then other sound. I'm not sure.
So what I typically do when I restream is I'll go. You can leave this one up. Pull up a new StreamYard tab, start your stream, and then just screen share this one in full screen. So that way, like, you know, people see the main most of it. You can even, if you want, like, you can take your own bubble out of it. I know there's a way you can do that, where you can take your own bubble out. I think it's this right here. Boom.
Yep.
Take your own bubble out, and you can talk and do all that.
The question, like, right now, it's double sound. Like, I have yours. I'm not linked into you. I'm just screen sharing you. So I'm getting my StreamYard sound somehow and yours, which is kind of weird. Like
oh, yeah. So, in that, what you can do is I would say, go onto your StreamYard and then go to the audio and change your speaker to something other than what it's on, if you have another option.
Okay.
Now this is in my headset. So I'm listening to my headset, and what I did when I jumped on Grid's panel, I think it was last week or the week before, was on my stream, when I had that on my headset, and then I had his stream coming out of my sound bars. So that way I didn't hear the double noise and could just like still interact. Because the way it'll work is, as the sound's coming through, you're going to react to it, and the people in your chat are only going to get your voice once.
Right. It's weird.
Oh wait, sorry. Turn mine down.
It's weird. How,
Sorry. How did I do that again? I forget. Did I?
this is so weird. Now it's doing like multi-echo. It's kind of goofy. I'm trying to figure it out here.
Try the opposite. So go into yours and put yours on the speaker you can hear, and then put mine on the speaker that you can't. Right. So because see, as it streams, it's just gonna play, like it's gonna send the audio to your stream, and then your stream in particular will play the sound. See if that works.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to do here. I don't know if I have one that won't play sound. This is weird.
Damn it, you beat me to it.
Hold on a second. Let me see if I'm doing something really goofy.
So what I'm thinking is they probably don't really have like it set up for people to. You got it?
Yep. I got it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you. Good times, gents. Good times.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Cool. As long as it works, that's what matters, man.
All right. And what's our discussion? What are we talking about?
So just going over the verse of the day. In you, O Lord, I have taken refuge. Let me never be put to shame. Deliver me in your righteousness.
Oh, man. Psalms and Proverbs are such incredible books for wisdom.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you a super personal question. You don't have to answer it, but you are Orthodox, correct?
I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not.
Do you follow a nomination?
Okay, so here's the deal with Abe Dinkus. I am as close to orthodoxy as I could be without being it. I think that the fall of the Protestant movement in the world is a great disgrace and a great falling away, so to speak, of the church. I think that we have lost any claim to authority. We've allowed feminism, we've allowed leftism, we've allowed every form of wicked stupidity into the church. It guides the church now, whether it's over purity, whether it's worrying about things that don't actually matter. If you notice, Orthodoxy will be judgmental about your heretical actions, but they'll never tell you you're going to hell, because they don't know that. And they know, absolutely know, they have no exclusive claim to your salvation, right? However, if you go to the Protestants, there's plenty of them that'll tell you that you're going to hell. Outright to your face. Why? You're not supposed to make salvific claims. Even according to Scripture, you don't know the heart of another man. Only God knows the heart of another man. Orthodoxy knows that, and somehow the Protestant church has decided they have an exclusive claim on whether or not you're going to hell. And yet, they're going to allow lesbian pastors, they're going to allow trans pastors, they're going to allow all of the shit that shouldn't be in the church into the church.
Dude, just you saying that fucking makes my skin crawl, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
All of the bad
That's
things that are
crazy.
happening in our churches today have happened mostly because of either the Catholic Church or the Protestants. And that's why I said I'm the closest thing I could be to Orthodoxy, but not be Orthodoxy. I'm Protestant, and I'm like riding that line. I don't agree with the Orthodox Church on a whole bunch of stuff because I don't think that necessarily it's biblical, but they would say that's sola scriptura, that I'm drawing straight from the Bible, and I don't have any right to judge what Scripture says. I need to go to the church because the church has the exclusive claim on what it means. I have an issue with agreeing with that statement, and I'm fighting internally still to figure out what I'm doing. I still need to go to a liturgy and talk to a priest and see what I see, because I know the Bible, I know myself, and I need to understand better before I make any kind of connection of myself to the church, to the Orthodox Church.
Yeah. Dude, so I went to a divine liturgy at a Greek Orthodox church downtown, and maybe it's just the way they do it. Maybe I need to go to a row core or something, but it wasn't necessarily for me. Calvin says, you know how you fall asleep listening to YouTube channel and it rolls to another video at least 5 times this month? I woke up to Psalms 91 and Psalms 23. I guess I'm supposed to read it. Nah, dude, that's fantastic, bro. That's amazing.
If it's just those two those two verses, I'm probably gonna I'm probably gonna say that it's not a coincidence, and it's trying to tell you something specifically in those verses.
Yeah,
because I mean, it's kind of like one time, okay, phone algorithms are weird, but if it's happening multiple times a night, it seems like there's something specifically in those verses that it wants that either your subconscious is trying to tell you, or God is trying to tell you through your subconscious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, Adam Price, welcome in, bro. Always good to see you, my man. Thank you for stopping by. Old Joe, what's up, dude? Thank you for stopping in. Always appreciate you, man. Yeah, Psalms 23 for me is just absolutely beautiful, man.
Is that the Sermon on the Mount?
No, Psalms 23 is the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Okay.
Yeah. The Sermon on the Mount's in the Gospels.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first Bible verse I can in my life remember, which it's probably a lot of people's, but Psalms 23 is just so impactful in the way that I deal with things. I don't necessarily remember Psalms 91. By the way, Calvin, I'm not a biblical scholar or anything, but that's why I'm doing this whole thing. It's just so I can learn more about the Bible. We're going to start reading through Numbers. Today we're on Numbers 1. We've read through Genesis, Exodus, and Leviticus. We're going to read Numbers, and then Deuteronomy will be the next chapter or the next book. But you're more than welcome to hang around, dude. I got to figure out a way to get in touch with you on Discord, so I can shoot you a link if you ever want to come in. I got friggin' corn bombed earlier this week, really bad. So I'm doing invite only right now. I'm not just letting anybody up.
Yeah, they were quick with it too.
I'll leave that one up for a second, just in case anyone wants to check that out. Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, it was impressive. That's how bad they got me. It had me saying this is impressive because these fucking degens keeping videos of dudes beating off.
Yeah, so
just so they can play them on someone's stream. What'd you say?
Something happened. I've had Are you still there? Yeah. So I'm here. I've had it happen on mine. I've had it happen when I was joining other panels as well, where it just went way out of control. 4 or 5 times in a row. Like they'd restart it and it'd happen again, and then they'd restart it and it'd happen again. And it just kept happening over and over and over. And I'm like, holy crap. So you got to really guard yourself. You got to guard your channel. And I make them cam up in the back and I check. I make them wave. I make them do different things if I have to in order to make sure that they're not doing that. And then if they do, then they're banned for a good.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that's banned forever. There's no coming back.
You have to someone else
end it, private it,
and stuff and shit.
Edit it, private, or end it, private it, and then clip it out later, and then you can republic it. But
yeah. Have you ever heard of them, Abe? Steve Billings Asylum?
No, I just went to their channel to see what's going on over there. It's kind of just a panel talking about different things. It's kind of like my panels, but maybe a little more intense. I'm not sure.
Steve Billings Asylum.
Clever though, because you go over there and sub and But promoting your own channel and somebody else's is a little weird.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say.
Because they're live right now. So, like, why they're just jumping to different people's panels saying, hey, come join our panel. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because on my channel, they did it too. So,
Oh, did they?
yes.
I mean, I understand the grind, bro. They're trying to grow, but at the same time, there's a level of respect you got to have for other people. Like, I'm not going to go on their panel and promote my shit, at least without asking first.
Right.
See, that's the thing to me is there's like kind of it's just bad form, right? Like,
oh, hold on. I got to do something for my chat. So it's not going to affect you guys. It's not going to affect you guys, but I'm going to play this song for my chat because evidently somebody, it's still a tiny amount, but they want to hear Burger Cream.
knees to the dirt, I bow my head low. The ground shakes with every echo. This world's a storm, a shadowed game. I call your name, I call your name. Oh, give me fire, not for wrath, but light. Make me stand in the darkest night. Thy will be done, thy will be done. On earth below, beneath the sun. The battle calls, the die is cast. Give me strength to make it last. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. My hands are scarred, my armor cracked. Every step forward feels pulled back. But in your word I find my steel. Your truth is sharp, your truth is real. Oh, I don't ask for ease or soft retreat, just steady ground beneath my feet. Thy will be done, thy will be done, on earth below.
Work, and I saw over time all the changes God has made, like especially in me, you know, as an individual. I no longer like look at my individual self as my own achievement, right? Like I know it's to me it sounds weird saying it like that, but you know, when I look at myself today, to me it's like someone like me, I would have said, you know, they deserved the worst, right? And just in the way that I was looking at things, and I'm not saying like I'm so great or anything, but like I just look at how vastly different I am today than I was before, and when I see that, it makes me first off grateful, but I can also see that like in the same way that everyone else is, but like I can see how powerful God is, you know. I'm trying to think of the right way to say this because I don't want to say something that. Yes. Based. Yeah. Yeah. Based. Based. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Based. Yep. Absolutely.
It also kind of perspective, like, because like now when reading the Old Testament, it's like a lot of these sacrifices sound harsh, unimaginable, and but to put it in perspective, it's what else can you give God that is even, I guess, what can you give God that accurately represents the glory He has?
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, Scott, you know what's crazy? So the way that you worded this comment here, he said, I had a few friends say they weren't completely unburdened, they were troubled. I told them God probably left just enough feelings to remind you what happened so you don't forget. Dude, when I tell you that hits so close to home, because all right, so my mom's mom, right? So my mom's parents split up, so I technically had two sets of grandparents, right? So my mom's mom, she passed away in 2018 before I got sober, and I did a lot of dirt to her, and she did nothing but love me, you know. And that's something that, like, you know, with my grandfather who passed earlier this month, God gave me the opportunity to develop a relationship with him and amend all the things that I had done. So in his passing, I could look at that with a lot more gratitude. Like, of course, like I grieved the first couple days, but
Hey Dan, I'm on lower classes as well.
I could look at that with so much more gratitude and see, like,
Hey, how are
how
you?
blessing it was
All
that,
right.
like, all of this that God has done so far.
Sorry,
So
I had it double.
I'm just
Yeah, now I can hear you.
I'm just currently restreaming. I'm on his panel and on mine. I'm testing for tonight, checking that I can run
Got it.
hit
Yep.
another person's StreamYard into my StreamYard.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. All right. All right. So, yep. Whenever you start later on, I'll just be in the back.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So
Okay,
in about
sounds
30
good.
minutes. Yep. All right.
Sorry to hear with both. Yeah, as soon as I'm done, we'll talk in the back. I can end it and we can talk off live if you want to.
No problem. Yep.
Okay. Just the lack of trust, and there's a lot, you know what I mean? So she passed away before I was ever to, you know, even be able to make, she never got to see me get sober. She knew me as I was when she passed away, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to mend the relationship with my grandfather, because that very thing that you said, you know, God left just enough feelings to remind me what happened so I don't forget. That's one of those things, right? Like, that's the reason I really do my very best to try and treat people well. And because you never know, like, regret after death is staggeringly tough for me, you know? Like, I have my own views on death and everything, but for me, you know, regret after death is something that's it's something that, like, I'm still working through, right? And I do my best to treat people as well as possible, because, you know, if someone passes away and the last thing I say to him is like "fuck you" or something like that, I'm gonna regret that, you know. And whether or not it's from a selfish desire, treating people well feels good to other people. So there's a mutual benefit there. So I don't know. Anyway, sorry, I kind of digressed there. I apologize.
Well, no, there's
Good.
there's a level you realize eventually of there's a level
Yeah. My buddy Scott, I'll actually, you know what? I'll talk to you about this in private. But yeah, that's something that I mean, dude, God is like the best medicine for my day-to-day life, you know. Because so for me, like even still today, sometimes my first thought isn't always, you know, like I'm no saint. I'm no like, you know, pinnacle or you know, representation of what morality should be by any stretch. But my first thought can be supplanted with the question of, God, what do you want me to do in this moment? And to me, that is the biggest thing, right? Where like my first thought is where I see like, this is who I am, you know? And when I can supplant that first thought with a prayer for guidance, right? God, show me what I need to do in this moment. To me, that just shows me like what God can do. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, right? Like,
Yeah. But
I was an atheist for. Oh, go ahead, bro. My bad.
no, I was just saying it's like a metaphysical thing that is so hard to even put across to people. Like this is the whole issue, right? When you're trying to tell people why you follow God, and Peter tells us, it's either Peter or Paul that tells us to be ready and willing with a reason for our faith. And that is a hard task. You have to be in it, really in it, to even give functional reasoning for people to turn to God.
And
Sorry.
you know, going through the 12 steps. And what do you say?
I said sorry, my
Keep
internet
going.
keeps cutting in and out. So
Oh, you're good. Did you cut out? I thought you were done talking. I apologize.
no, you're good.
That man's been freezing.
I know. I was just saying that, like, the best thing you could possibly do as a Christian is be a light in the world. Show them through your life and your actions that you follow Jesus Christ. And then when they ask, man, why are you happy all the time? Why are you so helpful to everyone? Why are you so kind? Why are you a good person? That's when you say, well, I'll tell you. And then it actually means something. Because short of that,
Right.
your message means nothing. If you're a piece of crap human being, but you follow Jesus and you tell people about Jesus, they're not going to care. You have to actually show them
Right.
why it's good to follow Jesus.
It actually hurts. Like it actually hurts the image and name of Jesus Christ, because like this is how people, you know, a lot of people's first interactions are with people that say they believe in Jesus Christ, but then do not try their best to hold up that lifestyle.
Yeah, and you know, I completely agree, and I think like one thing that's sad, and one of the things that kind of turned me away from chasing Christ was there's a lot of folks who their association with Christ in general makes them feel like they're morally justified in things,
Which is
or like morally superior.
which is the wrong way to be. Because if you go pay attention to
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, we ought to make ourselves low. Right? Humility is one of the greatest lessons you could take. You are not greater than anyone. In fact, this is like I said earlier, I'm lower than the dirt. Why am I lower than the dirt? I'm lower than the dirt because I believe in Jesus Christ. I understand what my sin is and how offensive it is to God, that it separates me from the Creator, and yet I still do it. Somebody who doesn't know any better, they're just sinning and they don't know and they don't care. For me, I should know better and I shouldn't be doing it. It makes me lower than them, not greater than them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think if more Christians knew, understood, and lived that way, people could then actually see Christianity as what Christ taught it to be and actually go, wow, that person is a good person. Why are they so good? That is the greatest message you could give people, is your actions and your showing of the fruit that you have produced as a human being.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. And you know, that was that's one of the things that I like was talking about earlier when we were doing God and Country, like towards the beginning of this, because I think we're on like episode 10 or something now. This has been fantastic, boys. This is awesome, dude. But that's the incentive drive, right? Like for me, it wasn't one particular individual who just said the right thing to me and I went, that entirely makes sense. What it was a collection of people who actually lived by the principles in the Bible and really made a good representation of what Jesus asks of us, right? And over time, I realized that is the thing that I want, right? That's that just the absolute, like, just knowing, knowing that, I don't know, man, it's so crazy, bro.
Well, let me ask you this question, lower class. Do you
Yeah.
have a better idea of where you stand and what you need to do and what's going on around you when you're flying high or when you're low? Are you paying more attention to your
is that a
actions and yourself?
dichotomy? Is that a dichotomy, or is that can there be a spectrum to that?
I'm sure there is a spectrum. I'm absolutely sure there is. I guess my point is
Yeah,
that when we're high on life, when everything's going right, it's real easy to not pay attention to what you're doing, to be low, to force yourself to go, oh, it's only by God's glory that I even have this. When everything is perfect, it's really easy to go, well, I'm good. I got this. I don't even need God. The moment that you're low, then you're turning to God. And I think sometimes we have to be reminded we need to turn to God. And sometimes he brings us low for that reason. We've got a little into our pride and we've made ourselves a little more important than God in our own head. And we need to be brought low so that he can show us, look, these gifts are from me and just stand in me and you can have those gifts. But the moment that you start worshiping yourself again, I'm going to bring you low.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. And that's kind of why I was asking, because I will say, like, that's, I mean, right on the money. I guess there's really nothing else to say. Yeah, when I was saying this spectrum thing, I thought you meant more of like kind of self-aware about what's going on and like what I'm doing in my life and everything. And to me, it's more of like having kind of that balance. But when things are going really good, you're absolutely right. Like I can turn into kind of autopilot instead of like practicing intentionality with like my relationship with God and in my walk with Christ. Like there's no intentionality behind it. It becomes more of like a checklist thing versus like a true drive, like a true yearning.
Yep.
So yeah,
when you're low, you're painfully aware.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that he wants to hold you down. What I'm saying is, in my life, for instance, I know that I've been brought low many times, and I think each time it was a lesson in understanding I need to still stick to God. I can't keep letting myself fall off because I've gotten everything in line and now I don't have to worry. So then I just get complacent and I care less about reading the word. I care less about praying. I care less. It shouldn't be that way, right? And when I'm brought low, I'm reminded, oh crap, even when I am high up, when everything's going good, I still need to stick to the principles that I know should be happening. I can't get complacent. I can't go, oh, I'm doing good, so I don't need to read the Bible today. I'm doing good. I don't need to go to church this week. I'm doing good. I don't need to pray. No, you should still be doing those things. It doesn't matter how high up, how rich you've gotten, how good things are in life. You should still be seeking Christ. And I think it's real easy in the human nature to get to a point where everything's good, so I can ignore all the fundamentals that got me here.
Yeah. Absolutely. Man, that's
And he's cooking.
stuff. Absolutely, bro. Abe, thank you for jumping up today, man.
Of course.
I needed to hear a lot of this, actually. You know what I mean? I love it, dude. I love it. I love it.
Right, and this is really good too. Like, I love that you have like a small panel and you're doing this. The thing is, people don't realize this, and I talked about it yesterday. The more we talk to each other, the more we learn about ourselves, right? You don't even understand the things in your head until they've come out of your mouth sometimes, which I think is partially why it says like the things that come into you aren't what corrupt. It's the things that come out of you. Well, we could have poison in us that we spew out on others, but we could also just speak what we feel and not even realize we're feeling these things until they come out of our mouth. How often do you have a conversation, right? And the small conversations aren't so much, right? They're just whatever. But the moment you have a longer conversation with another person, you start to realize things about yourself you didn't even realize you felt or thought, because they've now become conceptualized somehow, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's a beauty in that. That's why I try to foster the conversations that I do, because the longer you talk to other people, the more they understand you and you understand yourself.
What's up, Doomerang? Welcome in, bro. I appreciate you coming in. No, that's 100%. You know, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I'm grateful that God gave me the opportunity to start doing God and Country, because this is being able to talk to people who understand a lot of these concepts better than me, like yourself, Abe. Like, you understand these concepts way better than I understand them. You know, I am but a lowly trailer park boy, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Well,
think he's also a layered thinker. So it's kind of like he can notice things that, you know, even myself, I don't notice them.
I would say I think it's good for I think fellowship is good. I think speaking with others who believe as you believe is a good thing. And I don't mean like an echo chamber type thing. I mean just getting with people and talking about things that matter to you. And not in a way, like not in a debate. Like, we're not debating, we're just having a good conversation. And I think there's huge value in that.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
I wish there was more of that in today's society.
I agree completely.
It's not like,
I think it would fix a lot.
yo, did you hear about so-and-so celebrity doing this and such thing? It's like, you know.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
substance.
Well, one of the things, like my wife says, is she hates small talk. And the reason is small talk's fake. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Nobody actually cares what they're saying. Nobody actually cares what you're going to respond. It's dumb. If you really want to talk to somebody, actually care and ask, well, how are you? And then listen. Actually listen to their response. And then if they throw it back into your court, you can also answer honestly and maybe have a real conversation. But if everything, what's the purpose of that? I can tell you what it is.
Yeah.
The purpose is you were seeking connection, but in today's society, everything's micro. Like one sentence, one interaction, it's not real. And so you tried to connect to that person, but you didn't know what to say because you don't even talk to people very often anymore. So instead of actually having a genuine conversation, you just spurt out something that's completely generalized and doesn't mean anything to anyone.
So I'll tell you this, just to touch back on what you're saying there. So in logistics, right? I'm speaking to customers and I'm speaking to trucks. And bartending, I'm speaking to customers and I'm speaking to coworkers, right? And all of these interactions that I have are like entirely based out of, you know, my benefit, right? Like my income, everything. And it's almost entirely small talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I really like about the panel sphere is the panel sphere. You look like you got a boater hat on.
So weird. I don't know why it does
But
that.
the panels. My bad, brother. What'd you say?
I just said I don't know why it does that. When I turn on the green screen, my hat just disappears. Like what?
Yeah. But in the panel sphere, like I can have these kinds of conversations, you know, which is funny because a lot of these conversations that we have is like, this is the typical stuff you don't talk about at work, stuff you don't talk about in public, at a bar. Like everyone says, what's the two things you don't want to talk about at a bar? Religion and politics. Well, that's what my entire channel is made on.
I find it funny too, because like, here's the thing, the panel verse, right? There's been many iterations of this panel verse that we're seeing, right?
No, Stamey, get up here, brother. Get up here.
But
yeah, you got the link. Come on in, bro. I'm not going nowhere.
And what we found, what I see recently is there's like a push towards Christianity, whether it's Protestant or Orthodoxy, either one. I see it so strong in the panel verse right now, which it's kind of wild to me because I watched back in the day when this was mostly a leftist type thing, and they had most of the conversations. And now what I see is way more conservative people, way more Christianity, way more asking, how do we get rid of degeneracy and push morality back into society? How do we fix the culture? And I think that's a huge step in the right direction. Even if the guys who are Orthodox would say, well, these stinking Protestants and letting everything go wrong, or the Protestants saying, oh, they're too into their traditions and not too enough into the scripture. Either way, we're still talking about the Bible. We're still talking about Jesus. We're still talking about morality in our current world, and I think that's a damn good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. See, and that's, you know, there's a small congregation, Iron City Church. It's like 3 blocks away from me, right? They meet up on Sundays at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And like a year and some change ago, the congregation was 17 people. They'd been meeting for 3 years. Well, over this last year and some change, since, you know, like getting together at that church on Sundays at 4, there's no sitting room in the pews. It's literally standing room only.
It's huge.
It's insane, dude. Like, and from what, like, and I brought this up a couple times, and from what I keep hearing from multiple people is, this is what's happening everywhere.
Yeah, there's a revival. It's happening. We're watching it.
Beautiful.
I think a lot of people are starting to kind of, the more better our society gets, the less meaning there is in it. And so I think a lot of this is being driven because of their own mistakes.
Yes, Corey. So that's exactly right. The more the world shows its degeneracy and its disgustingness, the more people are realizing, wait a minute, this isn't right. Something's not right. And then they start looking for the answer. And you guys probably agree with me, the answer is Jesus Christ. Like, it's the only way. And so I see people turning to Christ or turning to religion in general, and by that they seek. And once you start seeking, Christ is the answer. And so I do think that like technology and degeneracy and everything growing is actually shoving people towards the church, shoving people towards Jesus Christ, because as much as the heart is wicked, you're still a human being seeking truth.
Yep. I mean, because we're talking about Jesus Christ has outlasted empires. He's outlasted, eras or entire eras of Earth and stuff like that. And it's just, imagine a movement that Jesus Christ started and we still talk about it 2,000 years later. It's an insane phenomenon for me. Like when I stop and think about it, it's like, because America, 250 years old, Britain, I don't know, maybe 1,000, 1,500 years old. And it's like, you have to go all the way back to the Roman Empire, and even before then. And we know more about Jesus on like an evidentiary basis through secondhand sources, all these people who speak about him or talk about him, than we have of historic figures we consider to be true,
So it's a hard
like
one.
Alexander the Great and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really hard when you get into historicity, but like we know that the Old Testament was found in Dead Sea Scrolls. We know that those are before Christ's time. Jesus' disciples sent their disciples out to continue the movement, right? And most of the New Testament that we have comes from a while after Jesus was alive. That doesn't make it false, because you have like Tacitus, and you have like Pliny, and you have these people who wrote about Jesus Christ from the Rome side, and and so there's documented history before Rome ever became Christian about Jesus. So they're already talking about this guy. The people who are in Israel are talking about him. The people in his time, his own people, are talking about him. So like, there's too much there to say this dude just didn't exist. And I heard a good saying the other night on my panel that, like, where's your standard? Because you're not asking me for extra evidence of the existence of Socrates or Plato.
Yeah.
They wrote stuff. We know that there's writings in their name, but how many people talked about them? Besides their own writings, who talked about these guys? Where's the other evidence these men existed? And that it's not just a collection of people that created these things and then put it under one name. How would we even know that? We don't. So why do you have a standard for Jesus Christ that is far higher than you do for all the philosophers that we still utilize today in all kinds of teachings, whether it's Stoicism or an understanding of the physical world? Why would we put a standard on Christ so much higher than we do on every other historical person?
Oh yeah.
And I think there's two reasons. I think one is we're rebellious in our hearts. And it's easier to say, well, it's hard to know if he's real, than it is to actually wrestle with the concept of, wow, this guy's actually God in human skin. And then the other reason is it's a faith issue. Like, like, you guys have seen it. We've talked to people. I'm sure all of us have talked to people that they don't believe in any form of metaphysics. They don't believe in miracles. They don't believe in anything outside of the real world. They're more materialist than anything. And that makes it really hard for them. What good is faith to them if all there is reality?
Mm-hmm.
But where does that lead? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you don't understand something, it's very easy to, I guess, talk down on it.
Yeah. So, okay, Doom.
Love it.
That threw me off. Now I lost my thoughts. They all went out of the hat. Thanks, Doom.
My bad, bro. It was just such a good comment. I had to bring that one up.
It's good. It was a good
Achilles, what's going on, man? Welcome in, bro. Always good to see you, my dude.
Well, I think it's also ironic that, I mean, imagine, you have this massive empire, probably one of the biggest empires we've ever seen. And then, speaking from the standpoint of the empire, there's this rebellious guy, you're hearing this problems about him, you're hearing this is uproar, and so you're like, well, let's quash this, send him to go be executed on the cross. Then his followers go out, they all mostly get executed, and then what is it, 500-600 years, maybe a little less than that, that whole ideology that they represented just takes over your entire empire.
So this is the beauty.
It's a little ironic.
Well, no, this is the beauty of Christianity. When you press Christianity down, it grows every single time. Every time Christianity has been suppressed in human history, it exploded into growth every single time.
Based.
Yeah, that's a perfect representation of it.
Gentlemen, that's why this is my background. For God and country.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Because you could see
We
what's
are so
happening in
back,
America.
gentlemen. We are so back.
We are. It's so true. I was just talking about this with someone the other day about how like it seems to me that like, and I really haven't been involved in like, I think I told you lower class, like I kind of lost my faith there for a while. Like didn't really have any connection with it. So I was really out of tune with what was really going on in the world of religion. Right. So even as an outside perspective, I was still seeing like it, like you said, getting kind of pushed down, and this secular kind of like opposite lifestyle was rising. And then recently, because people are fed up and they see what's going on, they're like, man, why did we go away from this shit that was working?
Right.
Like what was, you know, and I was one of those people. I fucking fell into that lifestyle and was like, dude, the only thing that was seeming to work for me is finding God again, dude. Like,
I love that. I love that because that's like the whole prodigal son story. That's those who are raised in it will come back to it. Like there's a reason for that because that foundation is
Right.
true and real. And sometimes we as Christians fall away. And I heard a pastor talk about this recently. You can only fall away if you're already Christian. You can only come back if you're Christian. And so like the falling away happens to all of us, right? We all who are in the faith feel a falling away, whether it's the world drawing us away or it's our own doubts or our own issues. But very often we come back to it. It might not be immediately. Some people, I've talked to people who are old, like older than us by several decades, who have come back to Christ after going and doing a bunch of stuff, realizing, oh man, I have really made a mistake. I have, and it's the story of the prodigal son. Like you're gonna do stupid things because you're a human being, and being a human is a messy thing. But in reality, Christ is the answer, and you have to return to him.
Yeah.
We hate
100%.
being under the authority of something, right? That's also part of being a human. You don't want to be told what to do. You don't want to live by
I
other
hate getting
people's
told
rules.
what the fuck to do.
Yeah,
I hate it.
right. And so that nature within us is our rebellious side, the piece of us that tries to press back against it. And it's like, it's not Christianity or God and Jesus isn't trying to control you. In fact, you find actual freedom through Jesus Christ. You don't find oppression or suppression or being held down. But it's not the physical freedom that we think of in our world, right? Like there's a whole nother world. Again, goes back to the metaphysics thing. There's plenty of people that don't believe in it. But then I would ask you, where does the feeling of like the upwelling of the spirit within you, like, because you feel it, and it doesn't even have
like
to be
like when you have that rush, right? Things like when I get like goosebumps about things, explain, right? Like I was listening to somebody just speak on something earlier, and it was like, I think she even started maybe just crying, right? It was like a girl talking about how she didn't really have friends, you know? And to me, as a person, like that really resonated, but I felt it on like a deeper level, something that I couldn't really even pinpoint. It was just like I got these chills because me and her connected on a level. Like I understood.
Yep.
Dude, I get it.
Yep.
I get where you're coming from. And that's a spiritual, like that's our souls kind of thing.
It's funny you just
I don't
brought that
think
up,
there's,
Sammy.
there's not some electric like weird, you know, it's deeper than that. It's not like there's no science that you can explain.
Right. So it's so funny that you brought that up. My wife and I had a conversation before I came downstairs and got online to talk to lower class. And it was exactly about that there is a loneliness epidemic. And that's not just relationships, although that is a huge thing going on right now. There's a friendship epidemic, man. People do not have close friends. They don't have people they can confide in. They don't feel cared about or loved by anyone. And why?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That separation between human beings is a terrible thing. We're not meant to be standing alone, to have no one. And we need to start rebuilding community. We need to start communicating and fellowshipping with each other, because that connection to other human beings brings the greatest value in your heart life here. I mean, obviously Christ is number one, but if there's no other human beings, then what does your life become?
Pre-2000, you know, dynamic. Everyone chilling at the barbecue.
Yes.
Everyone knows each other, waving at your neighbor. You just don't see that stuff anymore.
It's actually wild how much damage the C-19 stuff went. Like it did irreparable damage to real world relationships.
Yeah.
And not just like friends hanging out, not just family, extended family hanging out. Like even in the own house, it did massive to people. And we have to come back from that. And again, right, we see this return to Christ. That's a huge step, because the fellowship of the church, the fellowship of Christians just talking to each other on the internet, that's needed. And I think something in us was broken during C-19, and we all kind of stepped back. Even if we didn't think we needed to go get anything done, even if we didn't agree with what they were telling us, we still pulled back. Even in states where there was no command to step back, or no rule that you had to step back, even there, we still stepped back.
Yeah. Right.
And there was like a subconscious thing that happened, a programming of, oh, you need to step back from everybody else. You got to pull away. You have to keep separated. You have to, and it stuck, man. It actually stuck.
Yeah, I think it was a big buildup leading up to that too. Like there was a lot of stuff already going on that was making us into this individualized society where it's all about the individual. It's never about the. And I heard something the other day. I forget when it was. I think they were talking about back during like maybe the Kennedy administration back in JFK's time. How like during that time, there was something that happened where people stopped looking at their community issues and they started looking at national issues.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it really started. It's like, and then by the 90s, we were into this very individualized society. Everything was all this like niche, crazy stuff going on. And then fast forward 20 years after we started it, we've got the COVID thing, and nobody wanted to talk to anybody at that time. They're like, oh, this is perfect. I can just stay in my house all day.
Yeah. Stamey, I like to think of that like the difference between using your vision right now, right? Like look around you, you can see everything. You have a huge, wide range of view. And then when you start focusing on the national or global level, it's like looking into a telescope. Everything around you disappears.
Yep.
And the thing you're looking at far away becomes really close, right? And so you lose perspective of everything else that's important in the world around you, because you're so focused on the big thing, the thing over there, and you lose perspective in your daily life. And it's really important to ground yourself back to yourself, to your community, to your home, and be aware. It really is.
This is something I've been struggling with a lot lately too, man. Like, because I grew up in a very tight family. I watched it all fall apart, and then I watched also the people around me kind of fall into that thing, and I'm like, I'm still shook. I'm like 29. I'm like, why is this happening? Like, why are people not connecting in any way? It's like making me go crazy. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Where's the connection, people?
It's so terrible, man. Like just seeing how. Oh, okay, cool. Got you.
Also, hey, Vibe.
I mean, just how divided everybody is today, man. Like it's fucking awful. Excuse my language, but it really is. And call me a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, but like I don't believe it's organic. I don't even think that's how we're supposed to necessarily operate as people, to be as divided as we are right now. Vibe, good to see you, man. Welcome in. How you doing, bro?
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, man.
Love the conversation. It was making me think, like, I think I've told you guys before that I also live in the Philippines. And then I don't know if you guys know, but the Philippines is really big into basketball. They have the PBA. Half the basketball team is actually American basketball players that didn't make it into the NBA. And they actually go out there and they play in the Philippine league. And I know this sounds irrelevant to what we're talking about, but it's actually very relevant because it's so big there that almost every community in the rural areas, the provinces of the Philippines, when they build houses, they first build a basketball court in the middle, and then they build the houses around it. And then the next neighborhood over has another basketball court, and then they build the houses around it. And nobody has a backyard, by the way. They all live in their houses. They go out in their front yard. They start barbecuing. When they have parties, they go out in the basketball field all day long, or in the basketball court. When they have Christmas, they start Christmas like on December 1st, and they finish it on like January 8th. And it's just one big party with tables and drinking and food in the basketball court. Like everybody's front yard is one front yard, right?
It's
And,
cultural. It's
I mean-
cultural centering.
But it used to be like that in the United States. I mean, everybody had front porches and they had rocking chairs in the front porches, and their neighbors walked by and they said, "Hi, neighbor." And I mean, we eventually started moving our front porches. Any new housing development you see built doesn't have front porches. All the entertainment's in the backyard. Stay away from your neighbor. Let's put a fence around. Where I grew up, there was no fence between my backyard and my neighbor's backyard or my next door neighbor. Like we might have bushes that would discourage it a bit, but like we weren't trying to keep our neighbor out of our backyard, right? And I mean, it was all kind of connected. And you know, we have moved into, and this is way before COVID. Somewhere in the 80s, I think once money started getting big, like we're like, I'm better than my neighbor. I got the BMW. I'm moving my parties from my front yard to my backyard because I don't respect my neighbor, right? Like
Keeping up
somewhere
with the
money kind of it became like we started worshiping the wrong thing, right? And I mean, you guys are 100% right. Our culture was the same as the Philippines. We used to sit in our front yards, but something took over as the primary goal. And I personally think it has a bit to do with success and money and, you know, being better than your neighbor, that we decided to start shunning our neighbors. And there's still many neighborhoods in the United States, and I've lived in some of them, even one in California, where the street was a community, but it's very rare to find that nowadays. And of course, if you go to middle America, you find that more often, but it's slowly, even the new developments in middle America are being developed against that, right?
So I think it's the incentivization of selfishness to the maximum level.
Yes.
I'm the most
Ayn Rand's
important in my
virtue
life.
of selfishness.
It is. And don't get me wrong, I love some of the thematics and the ideas in Ayn Rand. But overall, objectivism is probably not the right path forward. Although you should utilize some of the principles in your daily life, some of them are smart. But if that is your ruling principle, well, you don't have God. That's for sure.
I think,
Yeah,
you know,
I just did a minor update of my front yard. Removed all the rocks, replaced it with grass. Now I'm thinking, you know what? Actually, I want to redo my front yard and put a front porch on there, move our back patio to the front patio, and be the first one in our neighborhood to set an example that this is the way we're going to move forward in this neighborhood as a Christian.
Cultural change,
Yeah.
man. Cultural change.
yeah,
Starts with one step.
man. You know, look, I know a lot of people may have their opinions on who he was as a person, but Michael Jackson had that just banger line. If you want to make the world a better place, look at yourself.
Man in the mirror.
Yes, man in the mirror. Yes, yeah.
So I have a video, an old video, like really old video on my channel. Like probably the first one I put on there years ago.
That's it, yeah.
And it actually speaks to this. And it's funny because it was before C19. It was before all the craziness. I made that same kind of statement. It's funny because it was in my mind so strong at the time. And then, I mean, I've always held to it, but it's funny to me. Here, one sec. Let's see if I can even find it, because it's funny that I
Oh, Stamey, you're good, dude. No sweat.
And by the way, Abe, while you're looking for that, so excited to see you on Rob's channel tonight.
it should be good. Should be good.
yeah, man, we're here to get him all gassed up on Jesus before he goes up. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
I mean, lower class is a celebrity too now, y'all.
Lower class is a celeb now?
Yeah,
Talking about
Andrew Wilson.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of people messaging me too. They were like, "Yo, dude, Andrew Wilson's doing lower class, and you're on there." And I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah, dude.
I pulled it up. I was like, "What? Did I say anything stupid?" I was so worried. I said some dumb shit.
no, dude. Well, like, so I just remember looking over at chat, and they were like, "Bro, you're on Andrew Wilson right now." I was like, "What?"
That's crazy.
Hold on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Did
So-
you
I
see
missed
the,
that. What was that?
Oh, she
So
fucking-
I,
yeah, go
I,
ahead,
I did a basically like a live react to the Sarah debate the other day, and something happened, and he was just he was reviewing it because a friend of the channel had sent it in, and so he was reviewing it on his channel. I just thought it was like, yes, you know what I mean, like. It's insane, dude. I've only been doing this for 2 months, and that was what Corey. He was like, "Would you ever have guessed that after 2 months of streaming, Andrew Wilson would have one of your videos up on his channel?"
Oh, like Baby
Papa
A.
Jamie, what's up, my man? If you're out there in chat, thank you for coming in, bro. Appreciate it, dude.
shouts to Papa.
Little Stammy down here is the man, bro. We appreciate you giving birth to him, but he's a good guy.
And when did I make this video?
All right.
This is a
What a short beard you
thing,
got
this-
there.
Short
know.
beard
What a
thing.
short hat.
I know.
That's what I was thinking.
This must have been before he saved the Union.
100%,
taller.
dude.
Lot
This was
taller now.
this was his days as a lawyer in Chicago. All right, let's see what Abe has to say here, my man.
Just had a thought.
Oh, sorry.
So I just had a thought about basically the place the world is at right now. People have all kinds of horrors happen to them, and things happen. That's part of life. We know that things will happen, just like change. Things will change. You will age, you will die. Now, people are falling to pieces because their lives don't go the way they want. And part of that is what you expect. You expect life to go a certain way, and it doesn't go that way. So you either have to take actions to make your life go that way, or you have to change the model you've created in your head. Now, all of this comes back to a few principles. Oftentimes, we make choices, and then the outcome isn't what we want. So we blame the outcome. We blame the other people associated with the outcome. If you stop blaming the outcome and other people and start taking personal responsibility for every choice you make, your life will improve. If you want a better life, be a better person.
How long you been a chef, Abe? Because you stay cooking, man.
Boy, you reminded me of something my sponsor said to me when I was living down in Portsmouth, dude. You said just like a detailed and explanative version of what he used to say. Expectations are just premeditated resentments, bro.
Yes, sir.
Everything you expect, it's probably not going to go that way
Mhm.
at all, ever. So every time you expect it to go a particular way, and if you're a perfectionist like me, if one fucking thing goes wrong, you're losing your mind. You're just asking for problems. You're creating a problem for yourself, and then you're mad later, and you don't know. You're like, why did this happen to me? It's
Yeah.
literally, man,
It's true.
that's profound.
Yeah, I mean, and on the same note, like, I mean, I've been married for 10 years now, so not super long, but long. I made it past the 7-year itch and never had an itch. But we definitely had our problems, and my wife and I went to our church, and we did a couple sessions where she decided not to go anymore, and I kept on going for 6 months. And every time I went to the session, I wanted them to tell me how to fix my wife. And every session, they kept on telling me, you can't fix your wife. You can only fix yourself. So stop trying to fix your wife. And if you stop trying to fix your wife and you only concentrate on yourself, even if your wife is wrong 90% of the time, which they said, we also guess she's probably not. Even if she is at fault, it's not your responsibility to fix that. You just have to fix yourself and keep on doing that.
Yep.
You need to do that for your children. You need to do that for her. And through God's will, if it takes you until the day she dies to see that, then that's how long you have to do it. You don't give up.
Yep.
And it is kind of taking that responsibility, right? It doesn't matter if you're 10% responsible or 90% responsible, 1% responsible or 99% responsible. You have to take the percentage that you are responsible for, and there's always a percentage in there. And you just have to account for that and stand up. And I mean, what you said, Abe, is perfect. And it works everywhere. Friendships, sobriety, relationships, workships. We always want to blame the boss or the other employee. It's all over the place. We can only be ourselves and try to be, like Christ.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. If you have a problem in a relationship, it's probably you who needs work. I'm not saying the other person doesn't, but you do too. I've been same thing, vibe. I've been married 17 years, and there came a point at which I had to realize I needed to work on me. It has nothing to do with anyone else because I can't control anyone else or anything else. I can only control me and what I do, how I act, and how I react, and how I live my life. And if I don't take that responsibility and actually do it, well, then I'm the harm. I'm the one doing the damage.
Yeah.
Right.
And I found myself this 80-year-old marriage sponsor, I guess you could say, that has given me lots of brilliant wisdom. He's like, if your wife does something that makes you mad, give her a pass. Give her 3 passes, and on the 4th one, call me. So about a month later, I called him. I'm like, okay, she's at the 4th one. What do I do now? He goes, you start over.
Based.
And
pray for patience. Here's your opportunity to get some.
He's always really good too. And he gave me another example that I loved. He's like, if your wife comes to you and she says, you know what, honey, I think it'd be really good if we built a toilet in the fireplace. My normal response would be, are you a effing idiot? His advice was, no, because that's disrespectful. That means you don't like her ideas. What you do is you go, you know what, hon, that sounds like a brilliant idea. And you go into action. You draw up the plans, you lay it all out, you show her how it's going to work, how much it's going to cost, until she looks at it and goes, you know what, babe, I think that wasn't a very smart idea. Let's not do that.
That's a good idea. That's actually good
reverse
advice.
Psychology.
What's going on?
No, not even reverse psychology. It's like, hey, I support you. Let me take you through this. It's almost like an Andrew Wilson debate. Like, we're gonna go down, we're gonna explore this, and I'm gonna trust you. And it's really weird. The toilet is a horrible example. I mean, in some ways, with my wife, I feel like 90% of the time it's the toilet. But there have been 10% of the times where I thought it was a dumb idea. I started going down the path, and as I started drawing it out, I was like, you know what? This actually was a really good idea. I was like, I really like this idea. Let's run with it.
Being in the fireplace may not be bad.
Right.
Just
stay warm.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, my fine gentlemen, I have got to drop. I got to do some planning stuff. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for jumping
Thanks,
in, bro. I'll definitely be catching you on Rob's stream, dude. Or I'll be on your stream watching it too.
Yep.
For sure, man.
All right.
Thanks, brother.
Abe.
Be good, gentlemen.
God bless.
God bless you.
God bless us all.
Indeed.
Everyone.
Well, Dan, do you want to talk on stream or do you want to talk in the back?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I didn't wanna interrupt the conversation because it was an important one.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel kind of unsettled today. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I'm getting up to work and kind of early tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to ask, when you get on Rob's, is there a set time you will speak with Rob? And
well, at this point, the plan is here in about an hour and a half. He will send me a link and I'll jump on and we'll start talking. So at like 8. Yeah.
So that would be 4 a.m. my time.
Brother, if you need to rest, I'm fine with that. Don't push yourself. There's not going to be anything crazy.
Cool.
Totally,
no,
totally
I
get it.
just want you to know that at some point I just have to leave.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, you take care of you. Actually, I am going to end this stream, you guys. We got to get set up and ready for Rob Noor. Thank you all so much for coming. You can head over to lower class. He's still going. I'm going to go live at 7:50, and I will start talking to Rob at 8 after the countdown. So hopefully I see you all there, and I will talk to you all in a little bit. God bless, and we'll see you in a bit.
God bless.